Welcome to Talks on Demand, hosted by Dr. Dawn Nicole McElwain.
Hey, it is Dr. Dawn Nicole here with another episode of Talks on Demand. And today's episode is special because I am joined by the beautiful ladies who are the Certified Supplier Consultants, or CSCs, of ProcuraFind. Many of you see their name, you see their picture, but you have not had an opportunity to deep dive and get to know them. So today I'm getting all up in the business. What do they do? Who are they? Where are they from? It's so much more. So ladies, first of all, how y'all doing? Y'all good? Yes? Yes. Full of energy. So we're going to just go around the room really quick because by the time we're done, y'all are going to learn a whole lot about this team, this group, okay? So let's do some quick introductions, ladies, so that our listeners can get to know you just a little bit more. So I'm going to start with you. Dr. Sandy Hardy, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, hello everyone. Thank you, Dr. Dawn Nicole, for that amazing introduction. My name is Dr. Sandra Hardy. I am the CEO and founder of Booster Hills. We are a business development and training consulting company, and I'm excited to be here today.
Awesome. And y'all are based out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Is that right?
Yes, we're based out of Raleigh, North Carolina. That's right.
That's right. Represent your state now. All right. Next up, we have the beautiful and very pregnant. Can I say that? Sunny Johnson, the mama of the group, who we are so protective of because she has a beautiful baby boy coming. Sunny, tell us a little bit more about who you are and the name of your business.
Hello, ProcuraFind community. I am Sunny Johnson, CEO and founder of SMJ Speaks Consulting LLC, where we help professional leaders and organizations empower growth and inspire action to deliver results.
Awesome. And speaking of delivery, when is the baby? Because listen, y'all wouldn't know because Sunny doesn't look pregnant from this side up. But if you see her, she's very, very pregnant. When's the baby due, Sunny?
The baby is due in November. Maybe a turkey baby. Who knows?
Ooh, okay. Listen, if you're listening and you are a turkey baby where you were born in November or close to Thanksgiving, put me in the comments. We want to know when we look at this video, okay? We want to know. And of course, we're going to keep on going. So Denola, Burton, tell us who you are, where you represent, and what does your company do today?
Hello, I'm Denola Burton from Indianapolis, Indiana. Woo! And my company is called Enhanced DNA. It stands for Develop, Nurture, and Achieve. We are an HR and business consulting firm.
Oh, I love that. Welcome, beautiful Denola Burton. And last but certainly not least, our loved and respected Dr. Erica Green. Tell us a little bit more about who you are, what you do, and where are you based out of?
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Erica Perry Green. I'm based out of Raleigh, North Carolina, and my company is Shiro Enterprises, where we are a publishing and business consulting firm specifically for women, high-achieving women who want to leverage their stories to grow their personal and professional brands.
I love that. So as y'all can see, I am just completely adorned with a power-packed team of women who are not just certified supplier consultants, and we're going to get into what that is, but they are also business owners. And you know what, Denola? I don't think a lot of our members realize that you're in the grind like them. You all are promoting your business. You have to wear all the hats. And so we're going to dig into that today. So first, what I want to do is start with, what is a CSC? What is a certified supplier consultant? Who wants to just quickly explain that for the people in the back? What is that? Anybody?
I'll jump in there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, CSC is pretty much a certified supplier consultant. And what we do is we help guide businesses that come into ProcuraFind to know their next steps in the community. So they come into the community, they know that they want to be suppliers, but they're not quite sure exactly what to do, how to move, whether they're even ready, what to look for inside of their businesses. And that's exactly what we as certified supplier consultants do. We help them to get ready, and we help them to do that within that first 90 days of coming into ProcuraFind so that they are successful. And so that's exactly what we do.
I love that.
Did I miss anything?
Yeah, did she nail it? Y'all?
She nailed it.
That was good.
So I want to ask y'all, because that means to me that y'all have already worked with a lot of our businesses inside of ProcuraFind, right? You've already worked with them. And would you all agree that even if you're good at what you do in business already, like maybe some of the people y'all work with, they've been in business 5 years or 10 years or 2 years. So they know their stuff, but they don't really understand how to play the game of contracting. Like they kind of struggle, like, what is my next step here? Because this is a different hat than what I've been playing. Would y'all say that? And I know a lot of y'all have helped our businesses. Who just wants to share some things that you're seeing and why this is a necessary function for our suppliers who come into our community? Because I know all of y'all have serviced our members. So Denola, you want to talk to
Sure.
this one? Yeah.
You know, the thing that I have learned from our clients, our ProcuraFind peers,
Yeah.
is that they don't know what they don't know.
That's right.
It's really about they know their business. They
Mm.
don't necessarily know what corporations or the government, whoever they're trying to get contracts with, they don't know what they need. And
Yeah.
so when we start to talk to them about those specific things, like the business capability statement, or just really understanding their services and how to share those services, how to pitch their business, they just didn't know that
They
they
didn't
should be
know.
even working on that.
Yeah.
So that's what I found.
I love that. So that's really good to know. So Dr. Erica Green, I got a question for all of y'all. I'm coming. So let me ask you this. What are some common things that you see or some common questions that some of your, clients in that CSC space have asked you or have gotten stumped on or that they want to know? Like, I'm just curious, what's the common thing that you hear from these small businesses?
Oh, that's a great question. And coming from a corporate background, I was in corporate for 25 years as a VP. A lot of people are interested in getting into that corporate space, but they do not know how to promote themselves there. They don't know, and they haven't done the research on what companies match their business, where they can answer those problems for corporate companies, and then really how to leverage corporate portals. So, a lot of the clients that I talk to, they think that, hey, I've got the certification, I'm gold,
Yeah.
but they don't know behind the scenes steps to really get in front of those specific corporate companies that they desire to work with.
Friends, I hope you are enjoying this awesome video. Listen, I cut in to let you know that today's video is being sponsored by Be the Contract Winning Supplier by yours truly, Dr. Dawn Nicole, where myself and my team give you the blueprint from beginning to winning on how you can secure the bag. If you are a small business ready to play it big in the contracting world, you want to really understand the lingo, you want to understand the players, the game, and where you fit in it. Whether you want to contract at the corporate level, the local level, right there where you live, the state level, any state, or the federal level, we've got your blueprint. We're going to teach you how to position yourself. We're going to teach you how to structure your packaging, structure your offer in a way that is compelling to corporations, you all. This is arguably called the blueprint of contracting. It lays everything out step by step. You want to get in front of 5 companies every 60 days and work those companies, right? Understand what to research, how to take it from their supplier registration portal to LinkedIn to closing the deal. We've got the book. Scan the code right now on the screen. Click the link. We can't wait to see you on the other side. Get back to your video. Wow. And that's why I would say, and I'm even like this, even though I'm the founder, I always appreciate having what I call a sparring partner. To me, a sparring partner is just having that sounding board, ladies, just to talk out loud, because talking out your steps is golden, especially to someone else who can hear you, right? Talking to yourself is one thing, right, Sunny? But when you talking to someone else and you all get to say, well, and you challenge that in a loving way, I think that's golden. That alone is like worth it, right? It's worth the price. Sunny, I'm gonna come to you and then I'm gonna go to Dr. Sandy. So Sunny, are you finding sometimes that some of the small businesses are a little impatient? And I'm not knocking anyone, but Sunny's like, chaff, you just stuck it. But like, and when I say impatient, I'm lovingly saying they want it fast, right? Because we're a microwave society at this point. We want things instant. Sunny, are you sometimes finding that some of the small businesses who come into ProcuraFind, they see ProcuraFind as the golden turnkey ticket and they want it like now? Do you find that? And what's been your experience with that?
Yes, certainly I have found that, seen it, and probably lived it myself, right?
Yeah.
We all have had the opportunity to just been working on your dreams, your passion, and you're eager, right? And then by the time you get to a ProcuraFind community or organization, you're like, okay, now look, I've been doing the work, so I want now results. And the problem is that we are usually in this place where we're a silo, we're working on something, our vision, and we're alone by ourselves. And we've been working really hard, right?
Yeah,
and we think we're on the right path. We might have already have had coaches. We may have already participated in numerous communities. But what happens, and what I've seen with some of the conversations that I've had, is that I have been burnt before. I've been in this place where I feel like I've already spent all my money and now I want to see some results. And so I have to have those conversations and say all of those were great opportunities to take you from whatever season you were in at that time and then move you to a new season. And in this season, maybe you need to just take a pause and understand what you don't know. And even though you put a lot into it, I found that a lot of people just think that, well, I've already been doing this. I've already gotten this type of client or whatnot. And now I want you all to do some more work for me.
Yeah.
But instead, they need to just kind of pull back. So yeah, definitely seeing a lot of people just have this sense of urgency because they're tired. They want to see results. We all want to see results, but they just need to take a pause and a breath and say, you know what? This is a new season. So let's learn from this season.
Come on, new season. And Denola, you said it best, and I'm coming to you, Dr. Sandy, but you said they don't know what they don't know. So Dr. Sandy, I want to come to you. So I know you're in this for the aha moment. I know, like all of us, you love to train people. You love that light bulb moment. And I know some of the things that y'all teach them, right, in this role is you teach them about certificates. You teach, they're getting certified, but that's not the end all be all, right? You also teach them about strategy. You teach them about the 4 sectors of contracting. What have been some aha moments, some things that you've taught? Because I know you've had quite a few clients yourself. Are you seeing a pattern? What were some things that you said to some of your small business owner clients where they was like, I didn't even know that. For real? I can do that? Like, what were some of those moments for you, if you recall?
I think a couple of them. One was the fact that, the certification is not just it. You got to get in their portal. How do they know who you are? That the certification is just the start. Have you gone into their portals? Have you even investigated them to see whether or not those are the right companies? And you get that, no, I just know that I want to work with them. Okay, well, do you know what it is that they service? What they purchase, as a supplier, are you preparing yourself for that conversation, or even just the conversation itself? How do you approach someone that's a corporate buyer and you don't have any knowledge of them? What are your next steps? Have you connected with them on LinkedIn? And have you gone to their company page? Have you liked their company page? Do you know what it is that their company is doing? Have you investigated? And then also, just once you get a project manager or a supplier to actually a buyer actually to accept your LinkedIn, don't just jump in and start saying, I got da, 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 da. It's about building a relationship. Because they get that all the time. So they want something fresh. They want something new. They want somebody to just come in and say, hey, I saw what your company is doing, so those have been some aha moments. Also just making sure that, the transition mindset wise from business to consumer to business doing major corporations. That's a shift in mindset. It's the same shift that happens from somebody that's going from being an employee to an entrepreneur. You still have a mind shift. There's another mind shift that comes now. Now I'm an entrepreneur, but now I want to do business and be a supplier. I need to shift my mind again.
Yeah.
So it's being prepared to take those next steps and understand that there's a transformation that happens before you can move to those next steps.
Listen, let's talk about transformation and mindset. So now what I want to do, because a lot of people don't realize that you all have your own businesses. You're not just in CSC positions to take up space. Like, you understand the grind. You yourself are looking to sell your services, right, to big corporations and government. So this is going to be a question for everybody, and we're going to kind of go around the room. I want to know what you do in your actual business. You kind of use that as a superpower when you help, which makes you all different, right? Because you all have different businesses. And so tell us a little bit about what is that business? What do you do in your actual business? And how do you pull a component of that over to your being a certified supplier consultant to help others. So I think what I want to do is I'll start with Dr. Erica Green. Tell us a little bit more about what you do in your actual business and how that's a superpower in this role for you.
Absolutely. So I have a publishing and consulting firm, and we're really leveraging, we work specifically with women. It's called Shiro Publishing and Shiro Consulting. High achieving women who are really trying to grow their business and brand. And we start that with storytelling, which I implement in my coaching here at ProcuraFind, because we all have a story. If you're telling your business story, you've got to be able to tell that effectively to corporate buyers, to anyone that you're trying to gain a contract with. So we leverage those stories in my business to help clients to not only become bestsellers in their books, but then how do you take that story and leverage it to grow your brand, to gain speaking opportunities, to become a certified coach.
Yeah.
So that story can unlock doors in so many ways. So as a ProcuraFind member, how do I leverage my business story?
Ooh.
How do I leverage that to grow my brand? And what does that look like? Because when you know the power of your brand, then you can unlock those doors to the contracts.
Oh, that's so good. Y'all drop the mic. Is this thing still on? I mean, it's so hot. She just hit. Oh my goodness. This is good. Okay. I think I want to jump. All right, Sunny, I'm going to go to you. Then I'm going to go to Dr. Sandra and then Denola. So Sunny, same question. What is it that you actually do in your business? And then how do you leverage that as a superpower in your CSC role?
Excellent. Well, at SMJ Speaks, like I shared, we help businesses, professionals, and women unlock their potential and also make certain that they're positioned for substantial growth. And so in my role and what I'm looking at in helping these organizations and professionals, we sit at the intersection of agile and change management, as well as AI, like incorporating those AI-driven strategies, helping our clients not just to adapt to change, but to lead through the change.
Yes.
So for businesses, we focus on creating operational systems that are more agile, inclusive, scalable, so that we can deliver results faster and more efficiently. And then for professionals, we provide coaching and frameworks that turn uncertainty into confidence, whether they're navigating career transition, stepping into leadership, or preparing for their next big opportunity. That is where we come in. And for women, because I love and I have a passion for helping women, especially those balancing purpose, family, and ambition, we create spaces that remind them that they don't have to shrink to succeed. We can teach them how to lead, earn, and grow in alignment with who they are already. And so for me, as a certified consultant, I want to bring those principles into the supplier diversity world as well, help diverse businesses strengthen their operations and communicate their value and confidently and with purpose pursue corporate and government contracts. So that is my core purpose in being a CSC alongside working with SMJ Speaks and just allowing that transformation and just helping people and helping organizations move from where they are today to where they truly are called to be. And that is with strategy, structure, and soul.
Come on with soul. Listen, again, if y'all are watching this, this is what you get. This is the energy you get with ProcuraFind with our leaders. So thank you, Sunny. Dr. Sandra Hardy, same question. Tell us a little bit more about what you do in Boots to Heels and how that carries over into your work as a CSC, that superpower.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Yes. So Boots to Heels is a development and training company, and we work with small businesses as well as major corporations. And we work with, and our specialty is business growth strategies and leadership and team development and training. So when we have like two arms that we work with, and when we work with them on their framework. So my framework with leadership is on a lead. And so I break that down in ways in which I can train in each and every leadership and trainer. And then underneath my the business development, I work with them on strategies. And I actually have a book that I've actually brought out, and a workbook that's actually out now that works around in that framework, which is called Boost Revenue Fast. And it works with helping businesses to look, strategize, understand where it is that your growth, understand looking at every business should be focusing on 5 areas of their business. You should be focusing on leads, transactions, conversions, pricing, and profit. If you're not focusing on those things, then you're losing. So what does that look like
Come
when
on.
you are moving into corporations? So when I'm looking at, I'm working with someone on a CSC basis, I'm looking at them on that, I'm using my superpower. Okay, this is your business. Is your business ready? How do
Yeah.
you know your business is ready? I'm asking those questions for them, helping them to understand their messaging, helping them to understand how they need to develop and structure. What do they need to put into their business? And I'm also helping them to assess their business, which is another part of what we do inside of Boots to Heels. We actually do assessments to help look at either 12 points areas of your business or 40 point covering areas of your business to see what it is that you're leaking. Where's those gaps at in your business and what we need to do, which is something that we do in ProcuraFind, right?
Yeah.
We have them to actually look at where their gaps are in their business and how to fill those on a corporate level. I'm also helping them to do that in a business level. So that's how I'm able to bring my superpowers
Come on.
into being a certified supplier consultant and helping them to develop.
I love it. Let me just clap it up for you. And let me just say this before we get to Denola, because Denola's just gonna put the bow on it, right? She's just gonna just put the bow on it. By the way, all of these ladies here are authors. We are all authors. I believe we all have a book. And that is pretty impressive because we know that only 3% of people who want to write a book actually end up writing one. And we are the top tier, ladies. We are the 3%. And speaking of books and superpowers, you like how I weave that in, Denola? Denola, tell us more about what you do in your waking day-to-day of your business and how you carry that superpower over to your work with ProcuraFind.
Thank you. Yes, so the name of my business, Enhanced DNA. So the D, develop, the N, nurture, the A, achieve. So that's what we do. We develop and nurture individuals and organizations so they can achieve their objectives. And we do that in several areas. I spoke about HR, and so that is my expertise. And so I bring the HR pieces to the table where we can go within organizations, assess the organization, develop what they need in mostly the soft skill areas with leadership and employees, and then help them implement in order to continue to be successful. I think one of the newest programs that I've initiated in my business, which has been very successful, is our HR compliance essentials. And that's where we assess organizations or businesses for, are they compliant with HR regulations?
Yeah,
And
that's
when
good.
we look at HR regulations, it's again, they don't know what they don't know, especially when they don't have HR professionals on site. And so I've begun to provide HR fractional services to organizations in order to ensure that they're compliant with HR processes. So that's kind of the thing, but I think that all of this carries over into ProcuraFind because I find myself as a natural nurturer, continuing to nurture our ProcuraFind members. They call me the auntie.
Yes, we do, honey.
So I provide that and I help them realize where they are in their businesses, where they need to grow, and then help them, whether it's related to the leadership or whether it's HR compliance or whether it's business development. So that's kind of what I do.
Oh my gosh, ladies, I am so, and I know each of you, and I'm always impressed when I just get a chance to just sit and listen and watch you. This is excellence. Let me just say, this is excellence at its best. So thank you for sharing. We're going to go a little bit deeper. So recently, and by the way, I don't know who you, so be thinking about this because I'm going to ask you all, who do you follow? Who's either a guru or somebody out there on the public sector that you say, you know what, Dawn Nicole? I got my eye on this person, whether it's Gail King or whoever, right? Who is your like public hero that feeds into you? That's, so before you answer that, I want to just kind of tell a quick story. So my husband and I have these days where we just binge watch like Mindset and we have our favorites. And so Myron Golden is someone that I love dearly and follow from afar. And one thing he said that stuck with me, particularly in the coaching world, ladies, is he said, no matter what you do, you can teach somebody how, right? You can give somebody the steps on how, but they will never do the steps if they don't learn how to become the type of person who can do the thing. So he said you could teach somebody how to do the thing, but until they become the type of person who can do the thing, and that's mindset, right? Which is the reason why we can have a set of steps in our hand, right? And I always talk about this. I have a whole home gym. Have I touched it recently? No. Am I right? Should I be touching it? Yes, but I have not become the type of person yet, right? Who is doing the thing faithfully with discipline. But I want to talk about that, because how this resonates here is how many times have you all, as a CSC or in your own business, taken time with somebody, you coached them, you gave them the steps, Sonny, you wrote it out and you made it plain, Dr. Sandy, and then you check up with them 5 months, 6 months later, and they haven't budged. Yeah. They haven't done it. When I first started my coaching business back in 2015, I used to take it personally. Honestly, Dr. Erica Green, I used to feel like it was a reflection on me as a coach when I would work with people and they would pay me money and then I would follow up and they didn't do it. I would didn't sleep well at night. And my husband, right, yeah, that's I would take it really personally. Yeah. And he had to say to me, your job is to make it possible. What you've done with the coaching is their job to make it happen. I want to know, right? You make it possible, they make it happen. That is not on you. There is a handoff where they have to become the type of person. So have you all found that? And I'm curious, in your own line of work or as a CSC, where you can give somebody the steps and they still didn't do it. Can somebody talk about that? Any of you? I'm just curious.
Well, I mean, I can start off with it. Absolutely. There's been times in the CSC role as well as my personal role where, I've sat down with someone and we've gone through everything and I've broken down all the next necessary steps. And you get back with them to follow up and life happens and they start talking about what happened in their life or what happened, or I'm going to get to it, or this didn't do or this didn't do. And like you said, it does really hurt you because especially if you're someone that really is wanting you want it more than they do. And, and that in that turn, you want to see them succeed. That's why you're doing what you do. You're doing that because you want to see them achieve and move to that next level. It's not about just money or anything. It's about seeing the results. You're about seeing other people. And then when they don't move or they don't take those steps, it does hurt. And so, yes, I've seen that in both situations and it's almost like they want you to drag them across the finish line versus, okay, I've given you these things to do, so let me see you move. I'm here to make sure you move, but you still have to take the steps. It's not just going to happen. And so then when then it kind of puts a icing on the cake when you hear them talk about other places they've been and they didn't have success. And then you're working with them and you can have that aha moment yourself. Well, that's probably what happened in the last few places, so it's almost like you don't want to let go, but you have to let go.
Yeah, you do. You do. Denola, have you experienced something similar to that as well?
Yeah, and I always have a thing that says, you know what, I cannot work harder for you than working for yourself.
That's right. That's right.
And so, when you, I think that's why it's important to have an accountability partner.
That's good.
And I think that's one of the roles that we play as a CSC is to be that accountability partner. And so, yes, I have had situations where people don't follow through and they wonder why things aren't working, or they want to know why they're working for you and they're not working for me, and it's because they didn't do the follow through. They aren't holding themselves accountable. And for whatever they're working on, they just aren't following through to get the results that they really want to get.
Yeah. So while they want y'all's results, they don't want the work in between. So that's good. All right. So here's what I want to know. I want to know, where are you all from originally and how did that shape who you become? Dr. Erica Green, I'll start with you. Where are you from? North Carolina originally? Or
I absolutely am. I'm from Eastern North Carolina. So I'm near the Virginia border in Windsor, North Carolina, small country town.
I didn't know.
Yes, it definitely shaped who I am. I knew I needed to get out of Windsor. So
that part, yeah.
So I always knew that I wanted to be in a field in corporate America, and I knew that before I went to college. So it really shaped my desires and my goals for myself, and made me move very quickly. And I think when you look around at your environment and you know you want more, it ignites something in you to go for that, and to go for that aggressively.
Wow, very interesting. Very interesting. Denola, where are you from originally, and how did that shape who you've become?
So if you really knew me, you would
Uh-oh.
know that I was from Hannibal, Missouri, the home of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn.
Oh, girl, I thought you was gonna say Hannibal Lecter. Did you
No,
when she said Hannibal?
Hannibal, Missouri. But I
Mhm.
actually, so that, yes, I'm a small town girl too.
Oh, okay.
But Hannibal to Virginia to North Carolina to Texas to Indiana is where
Wow.
we ended. So my dad was a minister, so we moved a little bit to finally settle in Indiana. So, but I've lived a lot of places, so that's kind of what shaped me because of the different places I've been. So I had a North Carolina twang for the longest.
You still kind of could pass, just so you know, you could easily fit in North Carolina, honey. All right, Dr. Sandra Hardy, where are you from originally?
Well, originally I am from Brooklyn, New York. Yes, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. So that's why the slow move gets on my last nerve, because I'm like to be moving and moving and dodging and going. But I left New York and came to live with my dad down in Dunn, North Carolina. I don't know if you all knew of Dunn, North Carolina.
You know.
And about like what Dr. Erica said, Dunn, North Carolina was too slow for the sister. And so when I got old enough to head out, I actually went into the military, and then from the military, I wound up going into Fayetteville, North Carolina, and then to Raleigh, North Carolina, where I officially settled. So how that shaped who I am is the discipline of the military, the consistency, the being able to the being a woman in a field where at the time when I went in, it wasn't a whole lot of us, and especially and men didn't want to be able didn't want to take orders from us. So it taught me assertiveness. It taught me to press, and then being around my dad, who's always been an entrepreneur all his life, that was another part that pulled in that eventually I was going to wind up being an entrepreneur. Eventually I was going to wind up being where I just press. It just
Yeah.
it's not about what I'm doing. It's about how do I get to the end,
Oh,
that figure that out.
that's good. That's good. Wow. And every now and then I feel like I have heard the Brooklyn come out just a little bit. So I think
My
I
son
think
says
it's
they
still
come out
there.
when I get angry. He says,
Yeah,
"Mom,
yeah. Watch out. But watch out.
uh-huh." He said, "Where did that come from?"
Right, right. Okay, the beautiful Sunny. Sunny, where are you from originally, and how did that shape who you've become?
Well, I'm from Rock Hill, South Carolina, very
Okay,
close to you.
very close to
I've
me.
always lived in the South. And so I had lived there until most recently moved into Morrisville, but Rock Hill shaped me a lot. It was a small town, but it has grown now, but it was small. It was, you knew people from high school and you saw different people do different things. And sometimes you saw people just stay. And I was always one that was like, okay, I want to find the next thing. Was always just inquisitive. But then most of all, I was raised with my mother, who was widowed, but also she was a single mother before she was widowed. And so she had gone through a lot of loss. And despite all of the loss that she went through and the challenges with some of her health and things like that, she still took adversity and just began to persevere. And she opened up her own business, and she used to have this Afrocentric business called Mahogany Mary's.
Yeah.
And so I don't remember her ever like having a book and just saying, I'm going to do just this. She just took action. And that action, I think, is what makes me move and makes me groove. And so I think that steered me in the direction of one, desiring to be an entrepreneur, but also understanding that when life hits me or things get there's setbacks,
Yeah.
that's just an opportunity for me to get back up and keep going. And so that's where I'm at, and that's how I've been living. And so I think that Rock Hill single mom story is what has allowed me to be able to move forward and be who I am today.
Wow. Oh my, I'm sorry. I just feel like I just need to like clap it up and give,
Mm.
you know, I'm really grateful. Unfortunately, it took me this interview to learn a little bit more about because I'm all we're around each other, but sometimes if you don't ask, you just really don't know. And I appreciate that, you all. I will say, you know, as I was asking you, I was even thinking for myself, like, how did my upbringing? And you know what? I hate saying this, but I love being very honest with you all. I kind of feel like I'm from nowhere and everywhere. And the reason I say that, I know Denola, I know the auntie and Denola's like, oh, baby, you know, but I say I was born in Massachusetts, but I left at a very early age, moved to North Carolina, moved to California, moved to Florida, moved like, and I'm from like everywhere. And to see my husband, who's also from South Carolina, Sonny, he's proud South Carolinian. Like one time we got into an argument because we was out of town and someone said, "Where are y'all from?" And I said, "Charlotte." And he said, "Come here, don't ever tell we from South Carolina." And I was like, Charlotte is right on the border. What is wrong with? But he's like proud South Carolina. Anyway, he'll see this and he'll know because he edits these. But my point is, for many years, I kind of envied people who had like a home, like they have hometown friends in the same school and same, and I didn't have that. My experience was very much I was always the new girl, right? So I was always defending my position. I was always like defending who I am and why I speak like this from city to city. And I got accustomed to being the new girl and just getting comfortable with me and my own decisions, which kind of makes me today, if you kind of see me, it's like, what's she doing? She got a pink badge. Everybody else got a red. Who she think she? Because I'm used to just like, well, I guess I'll just be my own friend, right? I'm just used to. But I envy today stability as a result, meaning I desire, because, you know, I bounced around, I appreciate stable things and stable people. And I love the stories when you all say, like, I have a hometown and this is what we did there. I appreciate your heritage and culture. And even that's probably why me and my husband are married, because he has this big family, very staple into the church. You know, it's a very, and I was like, oh, I love that, right? Because I don't come from that necessarily. I'm lights, camera, action, you know, and together, you know, we make a good mix. But I think that has shaped who I've become. So, all good insight, ladies. Thank you. So I got a question for you. We're gonna go here today. We're gonna talk about people who try to pick your brain for free.
Mm.
Look, I seen Sunny roll the eyes. I seen Dr. Erica say, right? But let's talk about it, because there once was a time before you started charging for what you did, each and every last one of us, right? And that's how we knew we had a business. At something clicked in us that turned us from just being a helpful friend to a business. Like Dr. Erica, maybe it was for you. You helped somebody recognize their story. Somebody was talking. He was like, girl, that's a book. Right. And after you said that enough times, right, you're like, I need a publishing company. Right. And Denola, right. You know what I'm saying? And Sandy, you helped mentor somebody in leadership one too many times. And Sunny, you realize you're good with agile and scalability. So, but there once was a time before you charged that you probably gave it out for free. And then if you're like me, right, as you're becoming, because I always talk about becoming, right, which is an evolution. I remember, and I'll share my story, and then I want to know your story. For me, what that looked like in 2015 is once I made a decision to become an entrepreneur, I retired myself from corporate America, 24 years in banking, mortgages, and I gave my severance. You know, I'm done. I, you know, traded in my severance package, was deciding to become an entrepreneur. And I was like, I guess I need to charge. I need to start pricing. So I remember setting my prices, which were way too low back then, because I didn't know. I didn't have a proof of concept, Sonny, right? But what happened is, as I was trying to become this serious business owner now, a couple of girlfriends still remembered when. They remembered when we used to go out and have girl talk. And I was always the friend that even while we were eating waffles and drinking mimosas, they would be like, so girl, what you think I should do with this business? And I was like, oh, what you should, right? I was always that friend to give advice, which is how I became, right? But there had to be a time where you turn that off. Yeah. And for me, the aha moment, I'll share mine, and then I want to know yours about people picking your brain and where you stand on that, because I can't stand that. For me, what happened is there was one girlfriend in particular. There were two people. One was an attorney out of Raleigh, and the other was just a girlfriend, right? And they would always do lunch. And I guess people know I love to eat. So they would take, that's my happy place, Sonny. That's where you can get me, girl. They would take me to lunch and I'm drinking and, mimosas and talking. And then she said in this moment, she said, well, Donna Cole, this is really helpful. She said, well, I'll tell you what, I took everything you said as a foundation and I did those steps. And then I went down to Atlanta and I paid this coach like $7,000. So now, thank you. And I don't think she realized, I don't think she realized what she said, Dr. Erica. So I was like, well, woo, woo, woo. I said, you said what? She said, yeah, you so helpful. Thank you. That foundational advice you gave me was good. I took all of that and wrapped it up in a bow. And then I went and paid somebody $7,000. I just got back this weekend from Atlanta. And I said, you paid a coach seven. Now, mind you, I was struggling. No, you don't have to I barely could pay for the parking spot. Do y'all hear me? I was a new coach. I was totally tapping into my 401k. So I needed the funds, but you thought I was good enough to give advice, but not good enough to pay. And y'all, that hurt. I don't even think she realized when she said, yeah, I paid $7,000. And she said it like it was, $7,000. So thank you. Thank you. So that was my eye-opening moment, Dr. Erica and Denola and Dr. Sandy and Sunny, where I was like, I got to fix this free lunch thing. So I do have a rule now where if you do take Dawn Nicole out for lunch, I say up front, no business. We're not talking business. No business. Tell me about y'all's stance on that. Have people tried it? How did you come to, the price points? I want to hear y'all stories. Can anybody relate to this?
Oh, yes. I literally just did a video that I need to post on social media about monetize your expertise, people, please, because it happens all the time. When I was in corporate America, I love to help people progress. Yes. And so as a VP, I was constantly giving people advice. They wanted to come have coffee and giving them advice on how to grow their business or grow their professional careers. And I'd see them get advancements and move to the next level. And I wasn't charging for this. Right. And I had in my community, I do a nonprofit, and I was training people in the nonprofit. And I had someone come up to me and say, Erica, your advice helped me to grow a 6-figure business. And I said, wait a minute. I didn't get paid for that. So I realized that you've got to monetize, because we give them this information once, but then they can get paid on it over and over and over again when they implement it. And if we're not monetizing it, we get nothing from that. So I had to learn the hard way, but I did learn my lesson.
That's so good. And that's why I'm not crazy. I love when y'all talk about this, because I know it's not just me that people do this to. Anyone else? Dr. Erica, thank you for sharing. Sunny, I want to hear about you. What happened? What happened, girl? Yeah.
So pick my brain. That just makes my skin crawl, because I've had so many people pick my brain. It's ridiculous. And I can so relate to somebody paying $7,000 and you're like, girl, or whoever, I just told you everything you needed and you're going to go and do that. And I guess what really irks me or has gotten under my skin with that is that I've helped numerous, if I can go back and I could see people like flourishing online and doing their thing, but I'm like, I recall the first conversation. It's okay to have a conversation, but it's just like, I recall the first conversation and this, that, and the other. And then I can hear and see people who have actually gypped your idea or something that you may have been working on. And you're like, wait a minute, are they really using your name and your tag? I had that happen to me so many times. And so I'm just like, I'm not interested in hearing what people's purposes and vision is. And really, I love it. Like, but I think I just tune out when people start talking to me about their business. I'm like, I've been doing this for so long, right? And all of a sudden they become experts. And then I found that they start telling you what so many stories. And I just can't. I have this one guy, he wanted to talk, he actually wanted to become a scrum master. This was, the information is out there, right? Yeah, so it's nothing like new, but it's just your knowledge and how you can share. And he got mad because I'm like, well, this is what we can do. I can set up a plan. We can do this, and that, and the other, a coaching session. He was like, you think you're too arrogant or something, and this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, well, so it's just one thing after the other. So when I hear, I think I even created a package, like pick your brain package. And paid in, and it was like a little cheap little package, like pick my brain. You got the opportunity to pick my brain right now and pay me, but they don't want to pay you because they don't respect or think
Mm.
that you are credible. I mean, I won't say credible. I can't think of the word right now, but they don't want to pay you because they don't see you as that person. Or
Mm.
they see someone else online and they're like, oh, they have 30,000 followers, this, that, and the other. And they give them some kind of blueprint they gave everybody else, nothing unique,
Right.
nothing that you haven't already told them, but they're like, oh, I'm going to pay. But then
Yeah.
I've heard some people who did actually pay and honor. You're like, you know, you have some great thought processes and you have some great frameworks. And I really think you deserve to get paid. But that stuff really trumps on your
Yeah.
mind. So you're like, wait a minute, why am I not getting paid?
Right.
And I'm spending all this time telling you
Mhm.
stuff for free.
That,
And
yep.
so when we do those 15-minute strategy, 30-minute strategies, I'm like cutting it off. It's like, no,
Yep.
that's something we need to talk about.
Yeah. No, I will say, and then I'm gonna listen, you can tell that I get passionate about this. Have boundaries. I've learned this. Y'all, being in this game a long time now. First of all, I'm gonna say this and I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just sharing my experience like I want y'all to share your experience. Okay. Number one, you're absolutely right. If you say it's gonna be 15 minutes or 30 minutes, have boundaries, right? Just have a boundary, because if people, a glutton does not know when it is full.
Yeah.
Gluttons, their whole goal is to eat. They will never tell you that they are full. As long as you keep on giving, they will keep on taking. And then people will never pay you money if they feel that they can get it from you for free. And once I learned that concept, I can't tell you how many people I called back, Denola, after doing like free speaking. Like I became the free girl in 2015 just because I was like, oh, I have to do it. Because y'all know we tell ourselves we got to crawl before we walk. We got to do things for free, right? But that's only for a season. Don't get it twisted. That is not forever. Cut it off and have a boundary. And because people were used to used to getting me for free, by the next year, 2016, I remember how many text responses I said, I'm sorry, I'm no longer, a complimentary speaker. My fee is this. And they was like, yeah. But I had to cut it off cold turkey for people to respect me. And sometimes I still don't get the deal with my price, and that's okay. Speak about it. Denola,
Don Nicole, one of the things that I have to be careful about is people who want to talk to you and ask you to be their mentor, but what they want is coaching. There's a difference between mentoring and coaching.
Yep.
And so I have to be really careful about that, because yes, I love to develop and nurture. And I can do that to a fault if I'm not careful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, they want you, they want all your ideas and everything, and that's not mentoring,
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Dr. Sandy, that's good, Denola. Dr. Sandy, you were going to say something too?
Well, yeah. So I wanted to say that because I come from the military, background, and because but I train, I develop. Those soldiers have to be developed. They have to be their next level, their next this place. We have to plan that out. We have to situate. We have to set those things up. So I'm doing growth strategies with them, even in that arena, as well as training leaders, commanders, and things of that nature. So when I came out, I came out of the active duty, and because of adversity reasons, my mother had a stroke, and I had to leave the active duty because of the stroke, and because of the financial problems of having to lose a full out income, and then now having to go and then having to try to figure things out. I wind up creating my company. So what I come to find out is people they're fine with having or asking me information or things, but they look at me as though, oh, you're training from the military, so you're not the same as such and such, or they don't want to respect the fact that I probably know more than you do, because my trainings and my leadership development depended on somebody losing their life.
Right.
Your development and training may not do that, but when I look in to develop somebody, I'm thinking about the fact that if you are a leader, you are leading soldiers. Therefore, if you mess up, that's somebody's life,
Right.
or making sure that they're prepared. So I come with that skill which is not really seen as a skill. So people want to be able to. They'll say, "Oh yeah, come and do such and such," but when it comes to actually having a platform and using that platform and inviting me to speak on that platform based off of what I know, they'll go to somebody else. I'm good for certain things, but I'm not good for that platform, because they don't respect the fact of I have knowledge and I have skills that you're not respecting. So that's where I find out that problem comes in at. So that's why I create my own platforms and my own stages. So I don't have to worry about that.
There you go. So y'all just, before we close, this is so, y'all know we could be here all day and we got things to do because we could go deep, 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 deep. So here's one question then that I kind of want to leave us with, and then I'll give y'all a moment to shout out your social media so people can follow you. But here's a question I have for you. There's two questions that I'm going to ask all of you to kind of think through. Question one is, if a business owner like ourselves, including ourselves, are tired of attracting people who don't respect you, right? People who don't cherish you, people who can't pay you. How can we change that? What are some things we can do to shift the dynamic to start attracting the right people? Where do they live? You know, me and my husband, we have this conversation because, like, y'all know entrepreneurship is not easy. I am not here to make, not every day is good days. There are some days I'm looking at the books like, oh my God, right? Well, you know, that is the life, but you have to make a decision. This is a decision play. This is not, right, comfort. So we have those conversations all the time where sometimes we get sick of who we're attracting in our businesses, right? And for me, and that's why I'm asking you to answer this question. I'll start and tell you what I did. I went through a phase in this business where I was attracting, I wasn't attracting the tier of people that I thought was representative of what we had to give, because what we have to give is a gift. And when you start looking at what you have as a gift, right? Like, I shouldn't be begging you to give you a gift. You want this, right? And so one of the things I did that was a strategic move is we increased our prices come hell or high water. Now, some people could say, oh my God, you know, you increased your, that's exactly right. Because I don't want you in here if you can't afford to be, if you're not happy to be, if you're not ready to be. All those things matter. And I'm already seeing a different tier, a whole different tranche in year 3 of people. So that's one of the things is I had to switch even my messaging. Who am I saying I'm looking for? So I want to know from you all, how do you do that shift when you're not getting what you want, when you're not around people who are appreciating what you have? How do you change that? Just curious.
I would say it's a value thing. Stop looking at yourself as a dollar amount and look at yourself as value. So what you did was, like you said, you looked at what you offered and you was like, this is something that I'm offering that should be a gift. You should think, oh my God, I'm getting all of this for this price. Yep. And so raising the price is a way of doing that, because what you're doing is now you're charging based off of your value, and anyone that is looking for value sees the value in what it is. If someone's looking for price, then they're not going to see that because they're looking to nickel and dime you. Those are not your clients. Those are not the people that you're looking for. But when you are looking to elevate what you offer and elevate your clientele, you're looking at your value, you're looking at what you can offer, you're looking at where your people are. And those people that are looking for what you want, what they have, you can have a purse that's worth $10 and a purse that's worth $200. The value and the difference of that price is what that person who's paying for it values. The person that values and wants the penny pinch, they're going to go for the $10. They're not going to see a value in that $200. But a person that's just loving that purse because they see the value in that purse, they'll pay the $200 and think nothing about it. Again, that's about value. So it's about the messaging, it's about the value, it's about going to the places where your ideal clients are and leaving those others on the table. All dollars are not good dollars.
Yeah.
All money is not good money.
That's right. That's good. That's good. Anybody else? Mindset shift.
I'll mention that I had to stop offering individual little things and packaging them as a whole piece of work. Because I don't want you to do just one thing and then say, well, it didn't work. Well, you didn't do everything. You just did that one thing.
Oh, that's
you can't just do one thing and expect it to work. You've got to pull it all together. And so now I'm packaging my services as a whole. And if that prices somebody out, then it prices them out. They aren't the right client.
Yeah. Wow. That is so good.
I was going to say,
it helps you to avoid burnout as well, because one of the things that happens when you have low ticket offers, you're having to deal with a lot of clients, and those clients are very needy, and it causes burnout. And so you've got to look at your offer first. How is your offer positioned? You've got the mindset shift. So now, are you being specific in your offer, and is your offer for the right client? And are you pre-qualifying the people that you're targeting for that offer? because that's going to help. If you want 10K, 20K clients, then you've got to be very specific in what you're offering, to Denola's point, how you're packaging that. And then are you qualifying and advertising for those people so that you can stop getting everybody who wants to publish and those high achieving women who want to publish to grow a brand and launch a business? That's a different type of client.
Yes.
That's good. Advertising for the audience you want. That's good. That's good. This is all good. Sonny, you were going to say something too.
Well, Erica make you wait a minute.
Look, Erica never. I step back. That she got it.
Like, wait a minute. You definitely know she gonna come at you with it. The right money, you got to have the right money. But no, seriously, I was also thinking like you have to value yourself. You know, like you said, the whole valuing someone else have to see you, but you also have to see yourself in the place that you're in. If you've been in a low spot or a low place, then you're going to continue to attract low. And you got to see yourself in a different place. Use your imagination, begin to see how you want to show up, whatever that looks like, and bet on yourself, because otherwise you're going to stay in a low level situation, and you are going to continue to like say, oh, well, they may give me $50 or $60 for this resume or whatever it might be. And yeah, they'll give it to you, but they're going to keep on coming back thinking that either they can get it for free or keep doing, you know, it's just like you got to help them to set a standard about you, but also you have to set the standard. Like, who am I? What is it that I want to do? How long do I want to stay burnt out, broke? And you working for somebody, you may be making a whole bunch of money. And I'm talking for my own self, because I've been here. Like, you might make a whole substantial amount of money, but why you have to lower it when it comes to your product, your service, and what you're offering? And so for me, I think that it takes a lot of mind work, heart work, and then just believing in yourself. So I think that just starting with understanding your value is going to
I just want to say one thing here, y'all, because this is so near and dear to my heart. And I just did a video, and I have a controversial topic, right? It's called value versus worth. And they're different. A lot of times we commingle it, and I've been having this conversation for years. But one thing I want to say without going too deep, because I don't want to start a whole new podcast topic, because I will take this bottle of water for a second, because this is what I learned, right? Value also changes based on how and where it's positioned. This is what I learned. This bottle of water at a dollar store in the hood, next to a bag of, Big Mama's chips, right? I ain't trying to be funny. I'm just saying, it's probably not worth that much. It's probably worth 99 cents, because there's a bunch of water and people aren't lacking water, right? They can get it in anywhere. I take this same bottle and I put it in a pantry in Arizona on a hot day where there's not a lot of pantries, right? I now can charge probably $5.99. You've seen it in the airport. $5.99, right? Scarcity, right? Drives demand. And it didn't change the water, but the positioning increased the value. Where are you positioned? That's the other thing. What stores are you in? You know what I mean? And we have to think about that, because you could be valuable all day long, right? But you created the value, but the worth is determined by the buyer. How much am I willing to pay, right? And I always did this analogy, and I started doing it in 2015. There's a pair of jeans on the rack in the mall. It's valued at $220, right? The designers valued the jeans. That means the creator creates the value. But the worth is determined by the person who's willing to pay it. So two people walk by, one person walks by and says, oh my God, these jeans are so worth it. $229, that's a steal. The material is great. They're thick. I'm totally going to buy it. Person number two walks by and says, oh my God, that is so not worth it. It didn't change the value.
It's the perception.
Right? And also, where are those jeans? Is it somewhere in Rodeo Drive? Right? Is it, or is it, you know what I mean? So I think it's two things. It's understanding value versus worth. Right? And understanding that you setting the value first, and understanding that your value doesn't change just because someone's unwilling to pay it. Right? And then there's also, where are you positioning yourself? Where is that water bottle? So.
And I think driving force of that, okay, oh my gosh, I can't pay that $10,000. Okay, great. Here's my free such and such that you can have. You can do it on your own, boom, 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 or get my books and have a good day and see you later. You're giving them a little value to move on. You got a couple of dollars, but you still focus stays on the ideal client. So you Right. So you put something there to give to them to you've done your part. Okay, you can get a book, or you can go into my funnel to do whatever you need to do. You still get a little value, but I'm not focused on you anymore.
Right. I'm not
Do
targeting
this
you.
guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
This
then move
is
forward.
Yeah, and let me tell you, here's my $9.99 or $39.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Because I also found that when I gave people free stuff and I had to learn the hard way, they didn't show up, they didn't do the work, and we all been through,
Right.
right? And I'm talking more about like coaching. When I looked out for a friend and older people, I was like, girl, you could get it from it. Now you know why it didn't work. They don't work. But anyway, that's a whole nother podcast. Y'all. All right, so real quick, Dr. Erica, tell our followers where they can find you and keep up with you.
Absolutely. Everywhere at Shiro Publishing, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, we're all there at shiropublishing.com. You can also find us there. And then drericapgreen.com.
Woo woo! Denola Burton, where can our followers find you and keep up with you?
Okay, I am on Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook. My website is developnurtureachieve.com. And Enhanced DNA, you can find me on my social medias.
Awesome, awesome. Dr. Sandra Hardy, where can our followers follow and connect with you?
Absolutely. So they can find me on LinkedIn and on Facebook and Instagram under Boots to Heels. That's Z's, not S's. And also my website is www.bootstoheels.com. And you can find me there as well. And also under Dr. Sandra Hardy as well on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Awesome. And the always cheerful Sunny. That's why they call her Sunny. Where can they find you and keep up with you, Sunny?
I'm on LinkedIn. You can find me there. Sunny M. Johnson is my, I guess, your profile URL. And then the Sunny Johnson on Instagram. Sunny Johnson sunnyjohnson.org on my website, and then in ProcuraFind community as well.
And you just passed the ball. I was just going to say, and as always, you can access these lovely ladies and myself by going to ProcuraFind.com. Become a member today to get connected to contracts faster and to meet this amazing community. Ladies, give yourselves a hand. Thank you so much. This has been fun. And thank you for joining us today at Talks on Demand.
ProcuraFind is your online community for small business growth, connecting you to contracts, partners, and resources. Join today at ProcuraFind.com. Thanks for watching.